Good afternoon, one and all present here. I would like to welcome you all for the celebration of International Women's Day webinar on Women Entrepreneurship Challenges and Opportunities. We remember our founder chairman, Dr. S.M. Venkatpati sir. I welcome our honorable chairperson, Srimati Ramadevi madam, CEO Shri S.V. Pramod Gowda sir, CEO Shri S.V. Rajiv Gowda sir, Secretary Peter Francis sir, Executive Director Dr. S.R. Shankapal sir, and Principal College of Engineering and Technology Dr. T.K. Satish sir, Vice Principal Dr. V.S. Yogi sir, today's speaker Ms. Mridula S., Placement Head Mr. Dhananjay Kumar, volunteers Dr. Nanda Ashwin and Professor Sherlyn Antony, principals of all college of East Point group of institutions, head of the department, faculty members, and my dear students. Now, I request Dr. T.K. Satish sir to address the gathering. Thank you.
Very good afternoon and a warm welcome to Women's Day. Ma'am, very kind of you to be on the show today, and we look forward to your, basically the points that we could discuss about it, how essentially we can improve as a country and as a society. Because if you look at, the reason that I selected this particular topic is, if you look at today, the total the market cap of India, if you look into that, it is hovering around $3 trillion US. But the basic particular this is that we had to, as the Prime Minister of India has clearly stated it out, our vision is to be a $5 trillion US. So for the next $2 trillion to come, so where essentially the gap is there, if you look into that, that is where essentially we are looking at more of the women people coming into the role and then play a very greater role as such. In fact, many of the studies, they show that it's around 30 BPS is what essentially we can add it to this particular only by bringing more women into the business sector particular So with that particular this subject has got a tremendous value and a tremendous importance as such. But if you look into that different women entrepreneurial forum itself is becoming a very big movement in India. So with this particular we look forward to today's discussion with Madam, and then probably later the Q&A if time permits, to see that what are all the challenges and the opportunities that we have got to grow further and then make this country a better and a developed country as such. Over to you, ma'am.
I request Placement Head Dhananjay Kumar to introduce the speaker of the day, Ms. Mridula S. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really privileged to introduce such a personality before you all, Ms. Mridula S., who is the CEO of Global Talent Track, Pune, President of India and UAE at Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Ms. Mridula holds a master's degree in management studies from BITS Pilani. In a career span of 30 years, Mridula has led talent functions across various industries such as e-commerce, financial services, IT, ITES, banking, BPO, management consulting, and many more. Having worked with Genpact, Goldman Sachs, Flipkart, Nomura, and ABC Consultant, she has been doing fantastic in the past and doing the same with GTT Global Talent Track Pune. Madam is also the co-founder of WICCI Consultants, and Mridula is a member of board as trustee at Educate. Our today's speaker is a leadership coach and is a passionate person about social cause like education and gender equality. She is active member of Winning Circle, exclusive for ladies, friend of many and enemy of none. With this short description of our speakers, may I request a dear friend or mentor of mine, Miss Mridula, to take it over from here. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dhananjay. And it is absolutely my pleasure and honor to be here. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak to you, all the students and the faculties. A very warm welcome, everyone, and a very, very happy International Women's Day to all of you. It is to women as well as to men, because like I was sharing with Dhananjay, that there are so many women around us who influence the lives of men also, and vice versa. So wishing you a very, very happy Independence Day, International Women's Day. The theme this year in 2022 is hashtag break the bias. You know, that's the symbol, as you would know. So what are the biases we are going to break today? In this particular session, I'm going to talk about the challenges, the opportunities for women as entrepreneurs, and what women can do, and how can they break the barriers, their own personal barriers as well. So with that, could I, is my slide visible, Dhananjay? Yeah. Okay, great.
It's visible now.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. So, women entrepreneurship is a really, really interesting topic. And like the principal sir was saying, there is tremendous opportunity. Some stats that I will share is how is our startup culture, how is our business world and gig economy is growing. So globally, there is a potential of $455 billion of marketplace this is. So, the pie is too big and everybody can have a cake and eat it too. It is growing at the CAGR of 17% by 2024. And pre-pandemic, if you think about our lives, the businesses, the startups, the entrepreneurship pre-pandemic, the rate that it was growing, it was quite stupendous. But now going forward, it's going to grow twice at that rate. So there is tremendous opportunity for whoever wants to, take the leap and start their own business. So some of the things that I have, talked about is in this particular session, I'd like to make it interactive. So if you are able to ask questions, please feel free to do that or put your remarks in the chat box. I'm going to talk about how do we make market assessment. If you have an idea, if you are thinking about starting your own business, what are some of the things that we can do in terms of assessing the marketplace? How do we raise the capital for it? Funding is really important. And then how do we converting your projects into business? So how can we do that? Okay, so as a woman entrepreneur, what are some of the questions that you will ask yourself? And I'm sure those of you who want to be women entrepreneurs would have asked these questions to yourself. Which is the best business to start? What is that idea? How to start a business from scratch? What should a successful startup business plan include? What are the things I'm going to look at? Where do I start? I have a great idea, or I don't even have an idea. So where do I start? How much money do I need to start a business? And today, the entire world has gone online. It has become a virtual verse. There are conversations, as you would know, about metaverse, that Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg has renamed his organization Meta. And the virtual reality in which we are going to live, or the augmented reality in which we are going, how important it is for us to leverage technology. And therefore, if I'm doing a business, how does online business work? How to set up a unique small business, and which are some of the most profitable small businesses in the world? So if you haven't thought of these questions, now is the time to start thinking about these questions. And I'll be happy to share this deck also, because it will kind of work like your toolkit also if you're thinking about starting a business. What I would also like to do is I will walk you through some ideas and thoughts that I have. And after that, if we can have question answers, that will be quite fantastic. So, this is just a snapshot of a slide that is 30 small business ideas for beginners. And there are so many things here. There's a lot to do with food, because if you remember in pandemic, when everything shut down, the whole Swiggy and Zomato, Big Basket, Gophers just like completely boomed, and they scaled their market. Even Urban Ladder, Urban Clap kind of organizations just really, really did very good business. So if you look at this particular landscape, there are a lot of everyday services around which people have really done good business, whether it's around food truck or coffee shop, bakery, cooking classes, ice cream stands, and then a lot of back-end work like content designers, content developers, digital marketing agencies have all come up, web design companies, interior designers, and kind of very unique businesses. I remember at GDT last year we ran certain programs on gig economy for yoga teachers. So how do you teach yoga online? How do you do tutorials online? So these are some ideas, and I hope you'll find some of your ideas here. And if you don't have, please put in the chat box, what are your ideas to start a business? What is the business that you would like to start? So Dhananjay, do they have ability to put the comments in the chat box?
Yes, they have, and I was looking at the comments which are coming. You have not started the topic, and we have 150 plus participants, and I have a lot of thumbs up coming
Yes.
when you have started, along with wishes like Happy International Women's Day, and people are looking forward to hear from you.
Thank you.
So back to you, Mridula, for
Okay,
another
sure.
powerful session.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So I would like to just put this question to the audience. What's your business idea? Have you got an idea? What are you thinking about? If you can share on comments, then we will make this session a little bit more interactive. So I'll wait for a few seconds to see if you want to share any thoughts on what is your business idea. Anyone?
So dear participants, this question is right from Mridula to you. What's your idea? Come on, answer in the comment box. What is your idea? Let's see what you have to say and what Mridula does for that. I have a response from Manoj, who is telling wonderful. So being wonderful, okay. And
Manoj, tell us what is your idea? Finance, okay.
Somebody is talking about finance, wonderful. And okay, wanted to start a company, somebody is telling, good. So what kind of company you want to start? Let us know.
Okay, great. Yeah, so keep those ideas coming. I'll move on, and as you have more ideas, perhaps it'll be great. So some of the successful factors, some of the key factors for success, and this is not just limited to women, although we have named the session Women Entrepreneurship, but that's equally applicable to men as well. Communication is really critical. And why communication is critical? Because you want to be able to talk about your idea to the world. You want to be able to say how the idea is going to either solve problems or change lives or make it a better place for all of us to be, or it's a platform for easy access of information, or food or products or services, whatever it is, right? So communication is really key. Professionalism is a big one as well. And under professionalism, it's very important. I'm going to also put things like business ethics. How do we, when I'm doing a business, is it all just about making money? Or is it about contributing back to society? Or is it about making lots of money? It's a good thing, but to be able to do it in a way that is credible, that's ethical, and that's not against any, that's not like a fraud or anything like that, or cheating. Finance, you need to understand a little bit about numbers. What is your revenue coming in? What are the everyday expenses that you need to manage? And then how will you make profits? And then how will you take some capital and reinvest back into your business? We'll also talk about marketing a little bit. What is important also is for you to understand market survey. How to do the market survey, how to understand what your customers want. In fact, one of the things that a lot of times the startups fail, and the reason they fail is because people have great ideas, but and they are so married to their idea. It's my idea. I want to change the world with this particular idea. I'm so into this idea that I have gotten really attached to that idea. But I don't see where, okay, great, Jayant wants to start a pet business and Indian Beats want to do learning as a business. These are both really, really great businesses actually to do. So when we think about our business and stock markets, of course, and Dhanush, I would also say along with stock markets, today is the time for NFTs and cryptocurrencies and Bitcoins and Ethereum. So there is tremendous opportunity there as well for us to do business. So thank you so much for sharing all your great ideas. We're also talking about how the business strategy is going to look like. But in market survey, what I wanted to make the point was understanding what is that need of the customer in the market is extremely important. Because if you're not meeting the needs of the customer, however great your idea might be, it will not fly or it will not scale. Then how do we manage people? Because in your business, you need to know people, you need to work with people, your clients, your stakeholders, and the teams that will support you. So these are some of the key skills to have. Market assessment. So let's think about markets. How do I assess the market? So one of the things that you must write down, what does your product or service do? Very clearly, you should be able to, in 1 minute, articulate, if it's my pet business, then what are the services I'm giving as part of that pet business? So I run maybe veterinary clinic, or I run a pet club, and these are the services that it's going to do. Or I'm running finance, or I'm doing trading, and I'll help consumers invest their money, and I'll be able to help them make profits. So be able to articulate your business in very few words. Then also you have to ask yourself, what the business that I'm going to go into, is it solving a problem? Or is it adding some value to the business? Is it filling a gap? There's something that I'm every day frustrated about, or I don't have a way to know how to do it. Am I able to bridge that gap? So then the idea is going to fly. How has this solved a problem which you faced? So is this an idea that's going to solve somebody's problem? Then there is two concepts here. And I'll explain to you very simply. It's a very deep concept, and there are multiple days of trainings that happen on blue ocean strategy and red ocean. So what is blue ocean strategy and red ocean? Because these are the ways in which you can take your product to the market. This is your go-to market strategy. So a red ocean strategy is where you have started a business that already exists, and there are various buyers and various sellers in the market for that product. So market is extremely competitive. There are too many people in the competition, and you will not go ahead unless and until you beat the competition, unless and until you exploit the existing demand. And existing demand is only limited. So it's only this much pie, and its market is already filled with a lot of suppliers. So that's a red market, and that's like being in a shark tank, and it's difficult to be. On the other hand, another way to look at it is, I come up with an idea that perhaps either has not been exploited that much. There is a wide open arena for that particular market. I mean, think about the market of digital content development, or actually NFTs. Those of you know, or Bitcoin or Ethereum, trading into that or making your NFTs and selling it on online platform is a completely new idea. Not many people know about it. Maybe just 0.5% of the people in the world have even started to understand what it is. So if you are going to make a foray in that market, then it's a blue ocean strategy, because it's new, it's innovative, the market is wide there, out open, and there are tremendous amount of opportunities. Another market that's growing extremely well is the technical training market. So, whether it's because for everything you need now digital marketing strategies, you need software coding and designing opportunities. So whether it's Python, SQL, various software tools and technologies, the market is just booming, because for anything that we do going forward, we would require knowledge of technical products and technology. So that's your blue ocean strategy. Okay. Then how to start from zero? Yeah, I mean, these are all the questions you have to ask yourself, Jitendra, when you are starting from absolutely zero. First of all, define your product, then see what problem it is solving, and then see whether it's in the blue ocean and red ocean strategy. And now we are going forward to give you some more ideas on that. So moving to the next slide, let's look at some examples of what are some examples of problem solved where the startup idea was last mile delivery of essential services during lockdown. So can anybody give some examples? One or two I will give, like for instance, Zomato or Swiggy kind of food delivery services. Absolutely, what the last mile delivery services, which delivered food to your home, so you didn't have to step out, because during lockdown you could not step out. So those kind of services. Any other services that you can think of that solved a problem during pandemic? Organizations like 1mg that were delivering.
Yeah, Mridula, I
medicine.
could see some responses from the student, because you're asking the question. They're telling that our college had come online, and a lot of new players came online, which was not there. And students are writing about 1mg, just now you told. Medication facility was given, medical facility online,
How
medicine
about Dunzo?
delivery.
Dunzo was delivering everything online to your doorstep, right?
Yes. Along with Swiggy, Zomato, Dunzo has come to the existence.
Yes.
That's what one of the student is telling by the name Pavan. Yes.
Okay, so these are the things where these organizations were solving a problem during pandemic. Then what are the value-added services? So for instance, noise cancelling technology. The latest AirPods, they have a feature of noise cancellation. So you put them, you are listening to the music, but only thing I would say is don't put those noise cancelled AirPods and go on the road and cross the road. They were meant to be at one place and sit and listen to the music. A gap filled is about micro insurance. And then the new market creation is like, your iPad was a new market, but now a lot of new kind of services are coming. For instance, for meditation now, or for gaming, you have so many different types of apps for losing weight, for fitness and gymming. So many apps are there that people don't even have to go to the gym. They have to just open the app. The whole routine is there and you can do it. So these are some of the examples. Teachers and tuition teachers have gone online to teach all kinds of things, not just technology, not just mathematics, not just behavioral and leadership programs, but people have gone on to teach yoga, to teach meditation, to teach how to bake, how to cook, how to do painting, anything. Everything is available now online. Okay, the next very, very important question is how to raise funds. So whenever you do a startup, you will require some funds. So number one thing, the most safest is when you're starting, when it's a bootstrap startup, where there's not much money, you start a little bit with your own capital. You borrow money, some money maybe from family, from friends, or you crowdsource it. You put your ad on Facebook and say this is the particular service that you're offering and you would like to raise funds for it. So that you can do. Then there are typical kinds of investors. There are angel investors, there are private equity firms, there are venture capitalists, incubators, accelerators. All of these institutions are there to help. If you have a presentation ready, if your idea is ready and you have a business plan of how you're going to implement it, you can present it. And I can actually personally also introduce, if people are there with their ideas, to some of the private equity firms or venture capitalists or angel investors. Okay, elevator pitch is really important to be able to communicate your idea very effectively, so that you are able to sell to the investors. Knowledge and network of the investors is as valuable. So for you to connect, go out, meet people, know them, understand what ideas have worked, what haven't, it's really, really important as well. And, in 2016, I just want to share an example. I can't underestimate the value of a network, because in 2016, when I left Goldman Sachs and I started my own company, but Rich Consultants. And at that point in time, I did that for 2 years. I did various programs. I did leadership coaching, behavioral and soft skills programs. I did diversity and inclusion programs as well. And I realized every time I got a business, I got it from somebody that I knew, or somebody that I knew had referred me to another third person, and that's how I got the business. I didn't get the business because I went and presented to a company or people that I didn't know from anywhere. So a network is therefore so important for you to build, and it doesn't get built in one single day. It takes a while to build your network. So start putting down names of people who you would like to get to know, people who have done this successfully, have mentors, have coaches, and follow people so that you learn from them. And this is just so incredible that 90% of my business only came through referrals and only came through the network that I had already built and I knew. Learn to talk data. Just giving a great idea, like I have an idea, it's going to change the world, is not enough. You have to be able to give some statistics saying how many lives this is going to impact, or what are the, how will you generate revenue, what are your expenses, how will you make profits, and then what is your idea, step by step, being able to detail it. What is the investment that are required? So talking numbers is extremely important. Be careful also about who you approach, because this is particularly if you are doing this business in partnership with somebody. So partnerships oftentimes break or fail because the founders don't see eye to eye, or their values are not aligned, or their vision is different. So partner with only those people that you think that they think like you, they have the same values and principles in doing business. Converting your project into a business. So, this is where, how do you convert your project into a business so if there is a particular service that you're offering, initially you could do a free version of everything, because today is the day where people want to experience things. They want to try it out and then see whether it works for them or not. And then they will subscribe, or then they will, go for it. So you have to be ready to be able to offer your service as a free version as well to start with. Try doing it on your own instead of hiring people. So initially going through a small team or going just by yourself is really important. I'll share an example. There is a company called tickle.com, TIKKL.com. Now, this is an event management platform. And what they do, this company is actually a batchmate of mine in US. She and her husband built the whole app, and now they are hosting shows. So, during the pandemic, there were many artists and many speakers, motivational speakers, many artists, dancers, performers who did not get any opportunity to perform because nobody was going out to see them. So their lives became very, very challenging, and their source of making money was quite limited. So in that period, this friend of mine, Nivedita Padhi, she decided that she will host events on her platform of the artists who are performers and then sell it for a ticket. Now, this particular platform is doing extremely well, and they have organizations like Allocation and many, many organizations from corporate world, from business world, from dance and dramatics world also. Everybody is using that platform, and they are putting up their ads on that platform. They are putting an event calendar, and you and I, people like us, can go and buy the tickets and watch the show, and it's not anywhere pirated on the internet. So that way their site is very secure. So, but it's just a team of, for the first 2 years when they just ran with like 2 people, just the husband and wife. And now they have expanded because now they have had new businesses that have come on board, and they are getting paid money from corporate clients also. So now they are sort of, expanded the team, service team you require, and delivery team you require, and help desk team you require. So initially you start small. Treat each rupee as though someone's life dependent on it. So you have to be really frugal, and you cannot just go, throw your money around when you're setting up a business. Get your own skin in the game. You have to really roll up your sleeves, generate revenue instead of borrowing capital. So instead of going on borrowing money, try and see what you can sell and generate revenue through that. be very careful about giving away stock. Okay, that's a later option though. And also have a strategy of how will you break even, by when will you break even, and how much effort you will require to break even. If your strategy shows that it is going to take you 6 months to break even, then do you have money to support yourself during those 6 months? And sometimes what people do is they take up a job, they work through the job, and then weekends they build the idea. And when the idea takes over and then starts to sell, then slowly they get away from the job and get into it full time. Also understand what is it that you require to be profitable. How do you manage your expenses and what will go into your expenses? So one is, in order for you to create a product, there is a minimum viable product that you will create. So there will be some money that will go into building your product or service. Then you want to do user acquisition. That is business development, going and getting users or buyers for your product. For this, you may have to travel. So travel cost. Then you need to maybe need an office space. Now, today, the good thing is everybody is working from home. So you could pretty much leverage that and work from home. You may need some staff, but like I said, only when you really require a staff is when you hire and pay. Sometimes you could pay them for the work that they are doing, just like on a commission basis, do this much work and I'll pay you for that. So you don't have fixed costs. You will need money to do sales promotion, pamphlets, banners, social media campaigns, social media marketing as well. So these are the various ways where your money will go in the way that you are doing your business planning. Lean team. So founders and co-founders that make a complete team. Also think about, if it's a partnership firm, how will you do revenue sharing? What is the culture of the organization you want to build? How agile and how nimble and how quick to respond to the market you want to be? And then letting go when necessary. That's also important. If the partnership is not working, then to let go is far better than to stick on and then have rifts or conflicts. So have a really good, reliable team when you're building a startup. Okay, after this slide, I'll just take a few questions because I'm sure there must be some ideas that are popping up. So how does your pilot roadway to monetization, what does it take from running a pilot to starting to monetize your business? So in pilot also, you have 2-3 different types of models. You have a free trial strategy. So you give your product free and let them use it. There's so many apps if you see. If you have downloaded any of the, either fitness apps or gaming devices, they will allow you to play for some time. And then you need certain like for instance Pixaloop, and I was doing certain work on Pixaloop and designing, or in shorts. After a while they will ask you to pay. Initially they'll hook you on and they'll give you some free trials, and then once the free trials you have gotten used to it, then they will say, okay, now for the premium version you have to pay. And then by the time you have gotten hooked on so much that you want to be able to do. Yes, Dhananjay, agility absolutely is the key to be able to change with the changing market demands. What is the freemium business model? It is usually offered free forever, certain basic facilities, but then certain functionalities you will charge for, which are premium services. Okay. And typically freemium business is business to individuals also, B2C and B2B both. There is free trial strategies, business to business only. Okay. You can generate revenue through ad money, but for that, your organization, your social media presence has to be good so that people want to advertise on your site. So you can earn money through that. You can provide subscriptions. Like I'm providing this particular service. If you subscribe to my service, every month you will get free newsletter, which will have articles from HBR. I'm just talking about, let's say, a learning company talking about it. So I will provide you HBR articles, Forbes articles, the latest in the technology or the industry or whichever field you are in. So, but if you subscribe with me, you will get these services. And consumption model is the straightforward, classical, where you, pay for the service or pay for the product and then you take it away. So are there any questions or shall I move on? Any questions, any comments?
No, I'm getting just responses from the students
Okay.
that they are getting it so nice that they would like to hear more from you.
All
No
right.
questions. As
Thank
such
you.
question come, I'll interrupt you, and in between we will ask you the
Okay,
questions.
sure.
Thank you.
Okay. So, these are some of the books. You can maybe take a picture or something. These are some of the good books to read, which will give you a lot of ideas about how to start your business, how to run a startup. Do not watch Shark Tank. There are mixed views on that. Sometimes it is not as real as it seems to be, or much more exaggerated, and not everything that is being said on Shark Tank might be real. So it's best to meet people and connect with people one on one who have run businesses, who have maybe even run and failed. But if there is a tremendous amount of wisdom in failing. And by the way, all great startups, I have to say, people who have run great startups have not made their money in one day. They haven't been successful in the first chance. They have started something, they failed, or they pivoted their business to a different model. They did that, they failed again. And after that, something clicked and then they succeeded. And the world's richest person, Warren Buffett, that we talk about, he made 99% of his wealth. He's supposed to be the richest person in the world, but he made 99% of his wealth only after the age of 60. So I'm not saying that you have to wait that long, but what I'm saying is that failure is all right. You should not, if you fail once, twice, thrice, every time in the failure, the only thing that you do is you learn from your failures so that you know what not to do. And that gives you tremendous wisdom to then go and succeed in your second or third or fourth or fifth trial. Yeah. And this is really the last slide. Honestly, after that, I'll take questions. Spread your wings. I was really heartened to see this particular topic when it came my way. And Dhananjay said, I would like you to talk about entrepreneurship for women. And, there is, everybody does a job. And, that's the psyche of workers, that you get paid, you get a fixed salary, and you work and you do that 9 to 5, 9 to 10, 9 to 6:37 all your life. But truly, when you're tapping your potential is when you go out and try and do something that you haven't done before, but you want to do. So that's when you totally come alive. So spread your wings. And for wings, I have this acronym. So W for me stands for a winning mindset. So which is visualize success. Don't think, oh my God, how am I going to do this? What if I fail? I miss the opportunity to do a job also, and then I lose all the money also. But it doesn't matter. You're young right now. Go with a winning mindset, saying whatever it is that I will do, I'm going to win. I'm going to make progress. I'm going to learn, right? And I'm going to be successful. So have that winning mindset. I stands for intentionality of career. And it's not just intentionality of career, intentionality of what is it that you are going to do. Do you want to make a career in a large multinational company, or do you want to build your business? And if you want to build your business, then you put all your intentions in that and then go for it. So being very focused, Arjun Drishti jisko bolte hain, being very focused, being very intentional about what you want to do is really important. N stands for network. And I cannot emphasize, I've already spoken about it. Networks are extremely important. Networks are your cushions, which will help you create more opportunities. They will pull you up when you're down. Networks support each other. So you get ideas, you get friendship, you get camaraderie, and you have something to fall back on also. So networks are extremely, extremely important in your journey. The G stands for growth orientation. So as long as your focus is on growth, and growth is not just about your product or a service, but growth could be the goodness that you're spreading in the community, growing that also. And last, growth is for yourself. So the S stands for yourself, self-mastery. And self-mastery comes when we start to actually believe in ourselves. It is really important. In the winning circle that Dhananjay mentioned, we are running this entire campaign for women. And in fact, on 11th of March, we have a session that we are going to do. and that's on break the bias, and we are going to break authoritarian bias. So what does authoritarian bias really mean? Is when I even if I have a feeling or if I have an idea, I don't say it because my either teacher said something else, or my parents said, or somebody who's older to me said, and I don't then express my views. So I bow down to authority, and I don't put my thoughts and ideas. So if you have authoritarian bias, you will find it difficult to actually start your own business, because in business you have to really listen to your own voice. Self-mastery is also about knowing your own strengths and knowing where you are not great at, so that you can navigate. You can do a SWOT analysis and see what is it that you believe in, what are your ideas, what is it that, where is your voice, and being able to have that belief, that confidence and conviction in yourself is extremely important. So we also do programs from self-doubt to self-confidence and self-mastery eventually. So it all boils down to self in the end. So this is what I had to share. I hope you found this useful. And this is I feel like every single person, I used to say every single person must try to do a sales job. Today I say that every single person must try their hand at entrepreneurship or a gig worker, because future is going to be there, and future is really bright, and there is a different charm of being able to do something which is your own. So with that, thank you so much. And I'm very happy. If there are questions, I'll be happy to take those.
Thank you so very much, ma'am, for taking the time out. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. And we can see a lot of compliments coming in the chat box. And Nanda ma'am, if you can read out, or Tejaswini ma'am, you can read out few of the comments or questions which has come for Miss Mridula, will be honored. Yeah, Tejaswini ma'am, you are in the show. Yeah.
Very nice and informative session. Thanks to organize. That's the only one comment I can see, sir.
Okay, Ms. Mridula, here is the question on your screen. Where can I actually find investors? They're talking about angel investors or somebody
Yes.
who can fund them to start the company.
Yes. So there are many organizations. TIE is one. TIE is, and TIE has bodies all across India. Let me just see if I can find the website. So TIE is Global Entrepreneurship Organization. It is tie.org. I don't know if I'll just write it. tie.org. Does that appear in the chat for everybody?
I'll show that to the audience. Audience, on the left-hand side, you have TIE organization, tie.org. So this is a body which can...
They support entrepreneurs.
They support entrepreneurship.
They support entrepreneurs, and in fact, they support young entrepreneurs. So people who are doing it for the first time, you have to be ready with your idea, and you can come. I can help connect to any of the investors in the TIE group, because I know some angel investors who are there. And like that, there are many organizations who invest. There are big companies like Secure Capital and Helion Ventures. They invest in very, very large companies, but tie.org is an organization that looks for young entrepreneurs.
Wonderful. Just to brief or let you know, Ms. Mridula, what we have started at East Point College of Engineering and Technology. We also, apart from training and placement opportunities is something which is given to the student. Apart from that, entrepreneurship opportunities are also given. We have tied up with UNDP, United Nations Development Program. And we are in a verge of identifying 15 different students who will be supported by 15 lakh rupees each having their ideas so well that it can be accepted by the industry. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and the person who has asked the question, this is for you, open invitation. Do reach out to your head of the department and try finding out how to apply for that fund. Come with a good idea which can be changed into a product or a service, and we are there to support you, and we will connect you with other bodies similar to this which can fund you or fund your ideas. Thank you so much for that. And can we have the next question, please? Okay, I have a question on the screen. Dr. Nagaraj is asking, what qualities women entrepreneurs should focus on? Okay, what are the attributes they should have to become entrepreneur?
Yeah. And, I'll just, we had that slide also somewhere. So some key factors of success for women entrepreneurs are communication, like I said, which is very, very important to be able to communicate what your idea is, what is it that you're trying to do. And communication skills also means, to some extent, being able to be confident in what your idea is and be able to influence the other person. Because at the end of the day, it's all about convincing the other person about how brilliant your idea is and why a company should or investor should invest in your idea. So communication is really key. Professionalism has many things, actually. That's another important one. We say under commit, over deliver. If you have given a timeline, then stick to it. If you have promised a certain quality, then stick to it. And understanding about finance is equally important for women, to be able to know that what is how much working capital I will need to start my business, what are my expenses going to be, where my revenue is going to come, and how much time. So therefore, what will my profitability will be. To be able to understand the finance of your business is important. Today is the day of marketing and social media also. So I would say social media skills, having a strong social media handle. And it's not about always posting very fancy comments on social media, but it's about being consistent. So if you decide 3 times a week, I'm going to post on social media, then you must post 3 times a week or 4 times a week and not less. You could go over. Business strategy, how to think about your business. I think thinking about the strategy of your business is important, and having an idea of go-to-market strategy. So I have my idea, but how do I go to market? These are some of the skills I think are very, very critical for women to have. Not get too emotionally swayed in. So being able to handle failures. If first time I fail, then I should not get very emotional and say, oh, I'm not good for anything, and don't self-doubt, but go out there and try one more time. And try one more time till you succeed.
Very well said. Consistency is the key, and keep trying, try unless you achieve it. Thank you so much. And probably another question was similar to how to get the fund. And one of the student was asking, do they also fund for software companies? Yes. Rakshit was asking, do they even invest in software services? Yes. Rakshit?
Soft services or software services? What does he mean by soft services?
Yeah.
Can you expand?
It just as soft services.
Yeah. What do you mean by soft services? Can you give an example?
Rakshit, let me know if I'm wrong. Do you mean software as a service? Soft services?
Because
is
for software, definitely there'll be a lot of people who will invest in software services, software development. Thank you, Dr. Nagaraj. Today, if the idea is good, people will invest in it. If you're able to show them the potential of your idea, if you're able to show them how this product will go in the market and what the requirement is, does the market need this? Do people need this? Then that idea will succeed. Of course, thank you, Savita. Of course, Apple thought differently. Apple always said that my consumer doesn't know what they want. I'm going to tell my consumer what they need. And that is for premium products, actually. So how they came up with the iPhone idea and the data security and all of that, they said, you all don't know. That's another way of business. So if you have an idea like that, it's, of course, worth trying. Thank you so much.
Oh, one girl is fan of you, ma'am.
I can thank you so much. It's very heartening. I'll become your fan when you share with me what your idea was, Chinu.
Okay, another question from Professor Vaishali is how to keep track of market strategies.
There's nothing like keeping track of market strategies, but yeah, it is important for you to understand, Dr. Vaishali, what is the market need is, and how the market is going. Is the market doing extremely well? It is bullish market or it is bearish market? Are the stocks rising? Understanding the market, like the war that's happening in Ukraine and Russia, is going to eventually impact the rest of the world. Maybe it will impact inflation. So if inflation happens and fuel prices go up, and your business idea is an idea that depends a lot on travel, for instance, that you have to shift goods from one place to another, for which you require buses or trucks to do your shipment, then that fuel cost will go up, which means the cost of how much amount you will pay in transport will go up, which means your costs are going to go up. So, I mean, I'm just giving you an example. So, how the war in Ukraine is going to impact somebody in India. So, understanding the dynamics of what's going on in the world and how is it going to impact my business is really important. And one of the ways to do it is there is tremendous amount of research that's available by McKinsey, by Forbes, by various institutions, Boston Consulting Group. So, there's lots of articles if you search in Google, and it will give you a lot of good information. I hope I was able to answer your question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Going back to Tejaswini, ma'am, back to you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. I request Professor Netra to give oath of thanks.
To deliver the oath of thanks for this event to all the dignitaries assembled here. I would like to thank our chief guest who honored this function with her innovative ideas and inspirational thoughts. I would like to thank our beloved principal, faculties, students, participants, and a special thanks to volunteers, Dr. Nanda Ashwin, Professor Shirley Anthony, and placement head Mr. Dhananjay Kumar for having scheduled this wonderful event right from the scratch. Last but not the least, our beloved audience for attending this function and making this function as a grand success. Once again, thank you one and all present here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Netra ma'am. Thank you so much, Mridula ma'am, for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, before we end the session, I have 2 lines for all of you on the eve of this International Women's Day celebration 2022. कोमल है कमजोर नहीं तू, कोमल है कमजोर नहीं तू, शक्ति का नाम ही नारी है, जग को जीवन देने वाली मौत भी तुझसे हारी है. With this, a warm salute to all the ladies over here, and thank you so much for coming over here. Have a great day, have a great year, have a great decade to all of you. Keep serving the nation, keep serving your family, keep serving yourself. Be happy. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll come back again with another powerful session, another powerful speaker. Till then, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and once again, happy International Women's Day to all the audience who have joined here. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here.